Leave. All right. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, dogs and cats, T's and G's and L's and B's. Have you ever seen that Dave Chappelle skit? They're all welcome. Everyone's welcome on a late night Friday night for the Fantasy Football Lounge. Got a lot of good stuff here. Maybe a guest or two might be joining me. Still to be determined. That's what I was doing. I was sending an email for the invitation. So I have to do it mid-show. Anyways, a lot of stuff to get into. A lot of injuries. What's going on, Mark? Saw you waiting. Thank you for patiently waiting for me. A lot of stuff to get into here. I was going through earlier today, and a lot of my teams are decimated. A lot of everyone's teams are decimated. Going through the injuries, I was going through one of my drafts, the draft board of one of my leagues. Here's who we've lost so far. Joe Burrow, the quarterbacks. Joe Burrow was a 4th-round pick out for the year. And we'll get into the factors, all the players that are affected by that in a bit. Jaden Daniels missed 2 games. He's back. Lamar is out at least probably today, Sunday for sure, maybe 2 games. So we lost those 3. Those are 3 of the first 4 quarterbacks drafted. Burrow out for the year. Running backs. We've had Chase Brown, who he's not injured, but his production is tied to Burrow being out. Bucky Irving now looks like he's out multiple weeks. Chuba Hubbard looks like it might be multiple weeks. James Conner out for the year, 5th rounder. Tyron Tracy was a 7th rounder, but still a starter for most deep leagues, 7th rounder. And then Aaron Jones, same thing, 7th rounder. So those are the running backs that have been hurt already. Wide receivers, Jamar Chase, 1st overall pick, again, tied to Burrow injury. CeeDee Lamb, 3 to 5 weeks. Neighbors out for the year. Tyreek out for the year. Evans, IR. Worthy just played his first game in week 4. And Terry McLaurin has looking like he's going to miss at least 2 weeks. So that, and then Brock Bowers, tight end position. Brock Bowers has been essentially might as well be hurt. And then George Kittle has only played 1 drive this season. So this is only after 4 weeks and 1 game. 4 weeks of NFL action. We have had all those injuries. So I kind of want to do a little thing on how to approach, if you have a losing record, granted, it's only 4 weeks, but after 5 weeks, we're looking at a third of the season, third of the fantasy season. So, Mark, we don't know it is, but would it surprise you? I mean, Trey Benson, look what's happened with some of these guys. The reports are just like, they just escalate so quickly. And the fact they ruled Chuba out 2 days early, I don't know. Why would they play him? They want to see what they have with Rico Dowdle. Maybe. Here's the point. It's just not good for him in general because I don't think he's regaining that job, that full job. I feel like it's going to be more of a 50-50 now, even when he comes back. So we'll see. What's up, Jason? What up? We got to start going on earlier. Big guy mornings have been a bitch. Yeah, I know, man. I will. Weekdays, Tuesdays, I'll go earlier. Tomorrow, unfortunately, the gambling show is at midnight usually because I'm always doing something on Saturday night. CK, what's going on, CK? Mark, Jason, what's going on? With the injuries, is DeMarcado a start? I mean, I thought he was, CK, but all the Michael Carter stuff and what he said in the interview, now I don't just listen to players too much, but I think his role just stays the same, man. We'll see. I mean, I saw on ESPN, I have him in both my ESPN leagues. They're projecting him for 20 fucking points in a PPR, which is just batshit crazy. So I think he's more of an emergency start. Like I'd much rather start Rico Dowdle. I think Rico and Rashad White are must starts, honestly. I have like 9 Rico shares, and I have some like tough decisions where I have to bench someone. Like I have Jordan Mason. It's like, do I want to start in a tough matchup in a PPR, Jordan Mason against the Browns or Rico Dowdle against the Dolphins? So I don't put DeMarcado in that type of player, but I will say this is a tough week with injuries, first bye weeks, like all this stuff's hitting us at once. So I kind of want to go through a little thing here and how to approach your losing teams. And there's a couple of deep strategies here. And a lot of my leagues I play 25 leagues, right? So 17 of them are no trades. 18 of them. I only have 6 home leagues that I can trade in. The other ones are Fantrax public leagues, no trades because collusion and shit. So in terms of home leagues, though, when you have a losing team, there's a couple ways to go about this. What you want to do, always check the next 2 or 3 weeks of matchups before you make any moves, because there's a chance you might have some teams, this week that have Bijan and Roma Dunze, and you don't have to make a move because you could probably beat them anyway because they're decimated with injuries or buys. Look 3 weeks ahead before you make any move. That goes for winning teams as well, right? There's a couple little deep, like kind of shady strategies you can have. One I was just thinking about that I've done before is if you play someone week 8 and you have a player that is, that you have a losing team, right? And you're like, damn, I need to move this guy. He's got a week 8 bye. Trade him to the team that you play in week 8. Like something little simpler. No, this is actually a Kevin Durant jersey, bro. An old school fucking rookie year Kevin Durant jersey. I got a story about that later. It's pretty funny. But stuff like that. Like look at like every edge you can have. There's ways where you can trade if you have a losing team and you had Bijan and you're 0-4, which you probably shouldn't be 0-4 if you had Bijan. Trade him now. And then, because if you lose this week, you're fucked. So what's the point of having him? Trade him now. Get a guy with a week 12 bye, and then you can flip that guy for a guy that had a week 5 bye later. Like things like that. Yes, you're probably getting worse players, but at this point, the goal is to scratch and claw to make the playoffs. That's all that matters. Maybe it sucks that you're going to be ruining like your ultimate talent on your roster, but there's no point in building for something. Having a Rashee Rice on your team, George Kittle, guys that are hurt. CeeDee Lamb. If you're going to be 1-5, because unfortunately, so many things can happen throughout the weeks where if you even have a better roster than somebody, you lose the week. So 1-5 almost makes you have to go perfect the rest of the year. And at the flip side, if you're 5-1, 4-1, you got to start making moves to pillage other people's rosters. Jason, betting on Ibuka, White, and Godwin to get a tutty. That's a lot on one team, man. It's not the easiest matchup for the Bucks. Godwin looks terrible. Godwin looks like dog shit. I got to get to Carlos's comment. I got a choice to make: Rico, Chase Brown, or Woody Marks in the flex. What's the scoring, man? What's the scoring, Carlos? Rico, Chase Brown. It's Rico over Chase Brown. I just did that myself. We'll get to Bowers in a second, Jay. Not great. I mean, he might play, but that's almost the worst thing you'd want for him. Let's just call this PPR until Carlos responds. But 10-man super flex. No, like what's the scoring? Is it half PPR? Is it standard? Is it full PPR? I would rank it Rico, and then Chase Brown, then Woody Marks, just because I want to see it one more week from Woody Marks. And it was hard for me. And again, I know everyone hates on Chase Brown, whatever. Not an easy matchup in Detroit. I was really kicking myself for benching Chase Brown for Rico, but I just know that game's going to stay close. Like there's just no world, I feel like, where the Dolphins blow out. It's saying a lot because Carolina's been blown out twice this year. But Miami's like they're missing Tyreek Hill. That team is whatever. Screw that whole Jets game. Like that was still a close game anyway. Rico is the only guy. The guy who Trevor Etienne's behind him. Trevor Etienne cannot hold on to the fucking ball. So Rico is fresh. He's going to get 18 touches in this game. Chase Brown can get game scripted out. Now I'd hate it. It sucks when you draft Chase Brown early and you started him every week, and now you bench him for Woody Marks. Chase Brown has an 80-yard touchdown. Rico just seems like the numbers play here, and Woody Marks is a good start, but not when you have those guys. We got Bink. Started 4-0. I'm 4-0. I started Stafford this week with Lamar out. Bang, bro. That's how you do it. Remember Bang Bros? The website, I said Bang Bro. Remember Bang Bro? Bang Bros? That was, I think it might still be going on. It's like a paid for porn site, and like anyone that pays for porn's a fucking idiot. Don't get me started into OnlyFans. Fucking losers, bro. Thinking about getting my wife. She actually thought about doing OnlyFans, make some extra money. She's hot. I mean, why the hell not? Put a mask on, right? Jay, so for Bowers, missed, was it Wednesday and Thursday's practice, and then came back limited today, I believe. He admitted he's playing hurt, so they have a week 8 bye. So if they're just going to keep on trotting him out there for 5, 6, 7 weeks, 5, 6, 7 before the bye, he ain't going to be right all year, because one bye week is not enough. So maybe what they do is they play him through the injury and they sit him down week 7 and they get week 7, week 8 off. or week 8 and week 9 off, whatever. 1 week's not going to heal that fucking knee injury. It looks rough. They look rough. Bowers was always probably going to be a bust at his ADP. I have 0 shares of Bowers. I have a lot of Trey McBride, a lot of Tucker Kraft, and a lot of Tyler Warren. A lot of Jake Tunges this week, baby. But it's the touchdown upside was not going to be there. So you were living on volume and efficiency, and he has neither of them right now. And his ability, this elite ability he showed last year, is just not there. So I don't know what to do with him. You can't trade him. Like, who's going to trade for him? Maybe a 4-0 team right now. Like, if I was 4-0 and I didn't have a tight end, I consider trading for him just on the upside that he comes back sometime at the end of the season, like back to what Brock Bowers we expected. You can't do much, man. Only reason I didn't try to flip QJ is because I have Jamar. I could have gotten someone nice, probably. Yeah, but Jamar Chase is going to be fine, bro. He's going to be fine. I'm not worried about Jamar Chase. I mean, he's not going to return where you drafted him, but like that was just based on Joe Burrow getting hurt. J-Bob, what's going on, dude? Got Josh Jacobs and ETN starting week in, week out. Woody Marks in for Jacobs this week and RJ Harvey on bench. Yeah, you got to start Woody over RJ Harvey, at least for the foreseeable future. Those are good. Woody Marks and Harvey are such nice little bench stashes because Woody can be played in a pinch. Harvey can be played in a pinch, especially in PPR. And they're just going to be ascending players, right? Like a guy like Nick Chubb, for instance, not an ascending player and descending. We want young guys on the bench. Jason, if you have a roster spot, pick up Michael Mayer, dude. Pick up Michael Mayer. There's Michael Myers. Now, Michael Mayer might not play either, but that's a concussion issue. So it's not like if he plays, he won't be limited. It's not like a knee injury. So the play is you pick up Michael Mayer, and Michael Mayer will be a top 12 tight end if Bowers doesn't play. Jay, it's Waddle for me. And I do like Travion this week. I feel like this is the week. The game script should be nice against the Bills. This could be the coming out party for Travion. I have been saying that for 2 weeks now. But Waddle does have a tough matchup. He gets J.C. Horn, which is not good. Now, the upside of that is maybe they move him around more and then they use him in creative ways where J.C. Horn won't shadow him. But he's going to see a majority of J.C. Horn in this game, and he has shut down everyone he's faced this year. He looks great. So Waddle's going to get a lot of volume. He's still an elite player. I don't like that offense, but I'm going to go Waddle over Travion. If it's a half PPR, I could maybe see going Travion, but if you have Chuba, yeah, I would trade Waller for. I mean, I would try to get Rico however you could. If you have Chuba, if you don't, especially if you have him, you got to do it. Bink, 12-team PPR, 2 flex, Lamar and Stafford. Pickens, Tet, Zay, Terry, Rasheed. That's pretty stacked. Yeah. Pickens, Tet, and Tet's about to explode too. I think Tet's a prime buy low right now. I do have a couple buy low targets I want to chat about here, and I'll get to your comments. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. I was looking up his advanced metrics. He is number 1 in the NFL in PFF rush grade, which it's limited sample size, but like in the near future, you can't really start him unless it's in a pinch because he's in a 3-way committee, which is just hell. But you're getting Jaden Daniels back. The offense should get a boost. And he is that dude. And I was really against him for where he was going in fantasy. And this is the reason why, because you got 4 weeks of nothing. It was week 1 touchdown. And he has 2 touchdowns, but it's not predictive. But going forward, I think he could be a possible league winner. Chase Brown, again, I think he's a target. If you get a panicked owner that's just like, I'm done with this guy, is going to bench him, try to see what you can give for him and get him. Love that. Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin, even though he's missing this week, if you have a winning record, go target Terry McLaurin. Most likely the Terry McLaurin team has a losing record. Try to pillage that player from them because he will be fine when you need him if you have a winning record. And then I just mentioned Tet McMillan, man. Tet McMillan is getting so many targets. He looks great. And, if Bryce Young does get benched, it's not that bad because Andy Dalton's a professional. So the downgrade of quarterback, if you lose the starter, might even be an upgrade. We don't know. But Tet McMillan and Jalen Coker coming back next week, I feel like it's a good thing for Tet McMillan. He won't get all double coverage. He won't get always a shadow safety over the top. So definitely a dude I like. I'm going to go ahead and throw my bets up. I don't know if you guys saw the show today. Between really 6 p.m. Central on Fridays, I released Beating the Odds. So I know a lot of you guys are in the Discord, but I'm going to toss this up here for you guys. If you guys want to tail these now before it gets too late. Sorry, the graphics a little wonky. I did it last second. So Ted is my bet of the week, actually. 62.5 receiving yards against the Dolphins. Love that one. Bo Nix, 20-plus rushing yards against the Eagles. I mean, he's going to be running for his life in that game. It's going to be a close game, I suspect. And Shaheed over 38 yards seems like a gift. He hasn't been running downfield. They haven't been throwing downfield in New Orleans this year. I feel like that might change this week. And that's when I love to ladder. So if you don't know what laddering is when you say you put $150 on the main bet, which I do. And then I go to the alt lines. And for him, I started at like, I think 60 yards. And it was probably like 4-1 for 60 yards, 3-1 for 60 yards. I throw 5 on that. Then I throw 4 on 70 yards. I throw 3 on 80 yards and 2, and then all the way up. And then I put like 50 cents on 130 yards, whatever the max is. That's like 50-1. And then, as he goes up the ladder, you win them all. Now it's a little risky, but it ends up only being an extra $12 to win an extra, 95 or 110 or whatever the fuck it is. So, and then Sam Laporte, super low, 37.5 against the Bengals. That just seems insane. That seems like a gift to me personally. Now, he hasn't been doing great. He did have, I think, 79 yards last game, but big fan of that one. Jason doesn't know about 20-plus. Dude, Bo Nix is averaging 20 yards rushing this year. And, Philly's defense, it's hard to pass against them. You can't run with the running backs against them. So you have been able to, as in Bucky did, but it's not an easy matchup for running backs. At least historically, I feel like they're going to get their act together in this game. You think that's too high? What do you think it should be at? Yeah, I get it. He isn't needed, and I really wanted to go Jamison Williams at 46.5, but I just saw 37.5, and here's my take: is I really 9.5. I mean, let's look at Bo Nix's rushing totals this year. I feel like it's just one of those games. Let's see. Bo Nix had 7 yards against the Bengals. Didn't need to run. 33, 20, and 18. That's his total. So he's averaging, what is that out to? He's averaging 20 yards a game. So it's right at his number. What's going on, Wally? All right, I'm going to get to all your guys' questions here in a second. I got to get back to where I was at in the chat. I'm going to play you guys the intro, grab a brewski, and then we'll get firing on this sucker, as they say, as the kids say. I don't know if the kids say that, but here you go. How about fucking Mac Jones, by the way? How about that, dude? What a warrior. What a G Mac Jones is. What a win. What a game last night. Good start to the week. Those primetime games have been elite. Really happy with that. Bink says, we agree on a lot. That means you're a smart fantasy player, not to pat myself on the back too much. I have 0 Bowers, McBride, and Kraft. Yeah, McBride's kind of been a little disappointing, but at least you know what you're getting from him. 7 for 60 every game. And I felt like the touchdowns will go up. He has 1 in 4 games. I feel like he'll catch 5 this year. Kraft's my dude. 11 shares of Kraft for me. He is my statement. He is my brother. He is my lover. He is my friend. He is my savior. I don't know what the last one was, but that's Tucker Kraft for me. And I think this is possibly a buy low for Tucker Kraft. Someone has him on a bye week. Now, most Tucker Kraft teams are winning this year. But if you could trade for him, I feel like it's arrow up, man. Because that game against the Browns was a lost game. He was playing hurt. Fitzpatrick got the random other tight end, got a touchdown there. Not even Musgrave. So, yeah. Stranger, Schultz, or Waller, all that's available. So you're saying, Jason, that Michael Mayer is not available? I would probably go Strange, Waller, Schultz in that order. Garrett, start 2. JMO, Marv, Brian Thomas, Diggs, and Mason. Let's assume this is PPR. Please put your scoring in if you could, because it does affect this. It's Mason for sure. I think it's Mason and Marv or Mason and Brian Thomas. That's how I would do it. Full PPR, Diggs gets a bump, but I'm starting Mason no matter what. I know it's a tough matchup, but the total's low. But guess what? The Browns aren't going to score more than 17 points. They got to protect Carson Wentz. The offensive line's banged up in terms of pass protection more than it is in run protection or run blocking. So Mason's a must start for me. Mason's going to get 22 touches in this game. Yo, Matt, that's the Matt Galloway, my boy. What's going on? Yeah, I like Hunter Henry. The problem with Hunter Henry is he's notoriously a disappearing act where he goes from, 6 for 90 and a touchdown to like 2 for 12. And I think he did it. Was it last week? Last week he had a rough game. And I like him. He's in the conversation of a startable guy. Yeah, I miss you too, Matt. Sucks I'm not bowling this year. I'm still nursing this hand injury. I just started golfing again. I had to take 2 months off golf. I know I saw you up at the bowling alley. Anyways, a couple announcements for the group in here. You get to all your questions. Going to have a guest joining me here in a little bit whenever he gets on. I sent him the invite. We'll see on that one. Tomorrow night, midnight show, gambling, late night, midnight Central Time gambling show. All the good shit. All my bets, all the parlays. A couple awesome guests coming on tomorrow night. The Patreon is open, guys. It's in the description. A lot of good perks in there. If you want to come on the show, there's 4 tiers, a lot of good stuff. You just want to be nice and just help this channel out. We're going to stick around 7 shows a week, sometimes 10 shows a week. Every fucking day I'm doing this shit. You're getting entertainment. You're getting content. You're getting this community. This community is where it's at. These guys are fucking awesome. The Discord chat is unreal. All the needs you have. We answer everyone's question here. We have 4 amazing regular guests. Can't thank those dudes enough. Also, I'm going to try to get to all your questions. Super Chat is also enabled. So if you want your question answered right away, just give me a little change, man.
Can I borrow some money to put my stuff in storage? Come on, guys. If y'all just help me out a little bit. Each one of you just put in a little change. Change.
All right, Mark. Giants, Colts, or Phillies defense? Giants, bro. Giants is the number one. That's my number one play this week. That's who I picked up in every league. I'm pretty salty that I had the Rams in 4 leagues because I thought they'd have a better showing last week against the Colts. They were okay last week, but dropped them because I had the Giants in like 10 leagues. I picked up the Giants in 10. I wanted to kind of diversify. But I knew the Giants were a better matchup. The Rams seemed too easy. And like, obviously we saw what happened. 8.5 point favorites, losing the game, getting 1 sack, bro. It was awful. That was a Lance Armstrong performance. 1 fucking sack, 1 ball. Ronaldo, Bryce Young, Bo Nix, or Darnold? I'm probably going Darnold. I think Darnold has the safest matchup. Tampa Bay's defense is a little beat up. And yeah, give me Darnold in that one. It sounds crazy. I think Bo Nix might be the answer just because teams have been able to move the ball on the Eagles. Generally, they're playing from behind against the Eagles. Giving up some good fantasy points to quarterbacks. And then Fannin or Mason Taylor. I like Fannin, man. I like Fannin. I wish you had jumped on the stream 2 days ago when I was talking up Jake Tunges, and I started Jake Tunges in 7 leagues because I have craft everywhere. And that was my bet of the game on Thursday. Also, first touchdown score. I cleaned up on that, dude. Tunges is great. And also, the news about George Kittle. I don't know if you guys heard. George Kittle, I was of the belief that it was precautionary IR stints to protect George Kittle from George Kittle because he's a badass. He's probably not playing week 6. So you're looking at week 7 for George Kittle. So you might get another week of Tunges if you have Tunges. And he played. I didn't look at the numbers. I'm guessing it was from my eye test, 75% of the snaps. Luke Farrell was out there blocking a little bit, but they did have some snaps where they both were on the field. And if you don't get both of Pearsall or Jennings back, Jake Tunges needs to be ranked top 10 next week because he had 11 targets. You can't buy that. What's going on, Wally? How you doing, bro? Who to start at running back? Walker, Mason, or Rashad White? JT is RB1. It's not Walker. Not the tiny dancer Kenneth Walker. Every time I talk about Kenneth Walker, I got to play the clip. Tiny fucking dancer, man. I think it's Mason. In a full PPR, you could sell me on Rachaad White, but I'm a belief that Sean Tucker is going to get 12 to 14 touches, and I think Rachaad White will get 14 or 15 touches, but I think Jordan Mason's getting 20 plus touches. Jay, I do some YouTube shorts. Here's the thing: is on these streams, they do the app I pay for here, the streaming app. They produce awesome AI generated shorts. But if I do a stream over 2 hours, which everyone seems to be over 2 hours, they don't generate them for me. And then I'm putting in so much time on this with everything else, prepping for the shows, the actual time recording, managing my 25 fucking fantasy leagues, plus my wife's 11 fantasy leagues, that like the shorts is just extra time. And I don't get a lot of, I get a couple thousand views, but usually get like 1 or 2 subs from them. And these are much more lucrative and I actually enjoy them. So I don't like the I don't know. I do like them. I should do more shorts, but maybe this stream will be less than 2 hours and I can get some shorts from it. But I usually, when it comes around that time, I have people in here still chatting. I want to stick around for you guys to answer the questions. That's more important to me. I feel like I want to get the people from this chat, these streams on the board over some randoms watching shorts. Garrett says PPR. What we're talking about? So Mason and Marv, bro. If you want to go BTJ instead of Marv, you can do that. Oh, you can start 2 of them. So it's Mason and Rachaad White. It's not Kenneth Walker. Kittle and Smith for Sutton and Kraft. I want Sutton and Kraft, man. I don't know. Hold on. That's so close, dude. It depends on your record. So if you have a winning record, you could afford 2 more weeks. Hey, got Cry Dog in here. I'll tell the story here in a second. Pat, if you can afford a couple more weeks of not having Kittle, because it appears he's not coming back. He can't come back this week. It looks like he's not coming back week 6. So it's probably week 7 for Kittle. So Devonta Smith has a week 9 bye. Sutton has a week 12 bye. Kraft already has his bye. So I think that's a wash. I mean, Kittle is going to be, I think, the number 1 tight end when he comes back. Just with all the injuries they have there, with Bowers being hurt, Trey McBride not really having a lot of upside like we thought. He's 1 or 2, right? And I think Kraft's top 5. And I do prefer Sutton over Smith, but so it depends on your record. If you're getting Kittle and Smith and you are currently 3-1, I do it. 4-0, definitely. If you're 1-3, you got to do Sutton and Kraft, because at least you're going to get Kraft next week. So funny story about this jersey. Cry Dog in the chat here. Was my roommate, lived with me. It was 12 years ago or so. And he had this jersey. It's a Kevin Durant, old school Kevin Durant jersey. And it was just in one of my, in my closet, like in a box. And I was going through clothes today. And I was like, dude, no way. It's kind of tight on me. I've gained a couple LBs, but Pat, 1-3, should I trade Henry and Kittle? Derrick Henry, I would keep Derrick Henry unless you can get decent value for him. You could trade Kittle if you want. You got to do what you got to do to survive, man. Aiden, who should I start PPR at flex? Wan'Dale Robinson or DeMarcado? It's Wan'Dale Robinson for me. Now, DeMarcado, like I said earlier, he is projected 20 points on ESPN. I don't know about the other platforms, but that's the only leagues I have him in. Michael Carter's scary. I think it's a 50-50 split. And that's not exactly awesome. Like, give me Wan'Dale Robinson, who might have 6 catches. Swinging a hot bat start October this week. Got 752 on Prize Picks and 2 $10 bets and 1 $20 bet. I'll take it. Hey-oh. Yeah, I don't do Prize Picks. I should probably start. Maybe they'll sponsor the show, man. That'd be cool. Cry Dog, T-Mac, Marvin, Dowdle need to start 2 of the 3. It's got to be Dowdle for sure. I know you're playing half PPR, Cry Dog. Dowdle for sure. And then, man, I think it's T-Mac for me. Marvin's probably more likely to catch a touchdown, but T-Mac's more likely to have 9 or 10 targets. So the problem is they're both in the same fucking team. And do you really want to start two Carolina players? So it's definitely Dowdle. I could see going Dowdle and Marvin, but you have to start Dowdle. I think he's going to get 18 or 20 touches. Jolly Pop, it is Brenton Strange, bro. Evan Ingram is bad. He's not playing much. He doesn't look good. He's not involved in the offense. We're not scheming up any plays for him. So for me, it's definitely strange by a mile. Last name, McAuliffe. Michael Carter, anytime TD, plus 110. I don't like that one. I know the matchup's good. I don't like that one. Dowdle minus 115. I like that. Now I'm coming around to Carter being possibly a better option. I think it's scoring based. I prefer DeMarcado in full PPR and half in standard as Carter. We just have no idea what they're going to do. Carter was a practice squad player, and we have seen this like with Chris Rodriguez, right? Was practice squad for the first 2 weeks, and then Echo got hurt, and he was comes in and just as a starter. And that's typically based on those players not playing special teams. They would dress if they play special teams. They don't play special teams. They're kind of sitting on the practice squad. Would it be surprising if Michael Carter has 17 touches and DeMarcado has 10? No. But would it be surprising if they both had 10 carries and there's a third guy worked in there? Not at all. So I think they might throw the ball more. That's a worry. So I don't like the fact you're getting, I know plus 110 is okay, but it needs to be plus 160 for me to be touching that one. And he says Chase Brown's plus 110. I prefer Chase Brown over Michael Carter. I know it's a tougher matchup, but at least I know Chase Brown's going to be the guy getting the goal line carries. Wally, do I trade Gibbs plus Nico / London or Henry / Ladd for Debo? So Gibbs plus Nico. It's kind of confusing. Gibbs plus Nico or London or Henry / Ladd or Debo. Can you just resend that one so I can kind of read it better? Because I'm a little confused on that one. Jason, are you not factoring in Sean Tucker, though? Was probably going to have the goal line role because Sean Tucker's a monster, man. And Rachaad White's a good player. Don't get me wrong. But Sean Tucker's a monster. So I am very confident in Sean Tucker performing. And we have to see what it is. But I think Sean Tucker's playing 40% of the snaps. I think he's getting 12 carries. Now, I like Rachaad White for fantasy because he's going to have 5 or 6 catches. I'll be giving up at least CD plus Mason / Walker. Do I trade Gibbs? Sorry, that's just a lot to. It's just hard to like figure out exactly what you're asking me. What's your thoughts on Diggs going forward? His snap share has only increased every week. At least his total snaps, not a snap share, because they run different amount of plays each week. His number of snaps has increased every week. The Keyshawn Booty thing doesn't seem to be a thing. They're not playing Kyle Williams. So Stephon Diggs seems like a safe wide receiver 3 for the short term. And, yeah, all good, Wally. So safe for the short term. And, yeah, man, I'm in on Diggs. If you could trade low for him right now, he looks a little bit diminished, but he's still coming back from the injury. I think better days ahead for his health. He looks much better than Chris Godwin does. Chris Godwin's dust. So I'd rather have Diggs than Godwin. I guess I'll put it like that. What else do I have for you guys? While I wait for Wally's comment, I do have some streams of the week for you guys. Deep streams if you're in some doo-doo problems here. Jalen Tolbert versus Jets. We have, and I mentioned this a couple days ago, stash him because we do have KeVontae Turpin out this week. And Jets are a good matchup. You're going to see a lot of Sauce Gardner on George Pickens. So Tolbert's going to be one-on-one. And he's got a good quarterback throwing the ball to him. So give me Tolbert versus Jets, starting him in a lot of places. McCaffrey versus Chargers. Now, and I have him in some rosters and some deep leagues because I thought there was a chance Debo wasn't playing. Now, McLaurin's already ruled out. Now, Debo is playing, but he's playing hurt. So McCaffrey's going to be the number 2 there. Now, Ertz is probably the number 2, but you get Jaden Daniels back. I like McCaffrey as a deep dart throw there. And then another name, Isaiah Bond. Not a good matchup. You got that overseas game, 8:30 in the morning. But Isaiah Bond with Cedric Tillman on IR, I like Isaiah Bond. So that's an upside play. It could be 2 for 12, but it could be 4 for 70 and a touchdown. Deep stash and also a play. If you really need a deep stash play at running back, you're hurting. It's Isaiah Davis. So we have, just in general for the stash purposes, Braylon Allen's out for the year. It's 8 to 12 weeks. We're in week 5 right now. They're not going to have a winning record. He's the future. He's 21 years old. No reason to bring Braylon Allen back this year. And you have potential for Breece Hall injury, which, yes, he's been injured in the past, but trade. He's one of the few handcuffs where a trade can make him the starter. I like that double whammy there. So give me Isaiah Davis on all my teams. I picked him up in probably 9 or 10 spots. I'm actually starting him in my league, which is a super, super deep league. I have Bijan and a couple other guys on bye and a couple injuries, Trey Benson. So Isaiah Davis, I feel like is going to get, 25 snaps in this game. And then my quarterback stream of the week. Now, this one's going to seem wacky and terrible. You guys are going to hate me for this one. Jake Browning. Jake Browning against the Lions. I know it seems gross. He's got great weapons. He's got no line, and it's a tough matchup against Detroit. They're going to have to throw. Give me Jake Browning, 250 and 2 touchdowns this week. You heard it here first. All right, we got Drew Wandale or Dowdle. Dowdle. I'm starting the running back that's guaranteed to get the touches. That's good business right there. We got Mark here saying Coleman or Judy PPR. It's Judy, man. Christian Gonzalez is going to be most likely on Keon Coleman. And I was really looking at Keon Coleman. I bet him last week he won. He hit 37.5 yards. He's at 39.5, I think, this week. Judy's at like 53. So Vegas will tell you Judy, but there's going to be a lot of Christian Gonzalez on Keon Coleman. They don't really use him that creatively. They kind of line him up outside a lot. That's Christian Gonzalez's spot. So I don't like that matchup. Yes, Judy has a tough matchup too. Tough game in general. Low point total. But I feel like I'd rather look at what Vegas's numbers are in terms of the player props than I would the total points. I would say Coleman probably has bigger upside because he has more touchdown potential. But you're talking about PPR here. If it was half PPR, okay, probably Coleman. Full PPR, Judy's going to probably have 6 catches. I'm going to give me those 11 points, man. So I know the rookie quarterback. I know there's a lot of things working against Judy, but, when all else fails, we want to chase volume here. And one of my favorite fantasy players, Chase Volume. He's a good player. Doesn't always work out, but Judy's going to be on the field a lot. He's going to get, there's no Tillman. Isaiah Bond's still a work in progress. As much as I said I like Isaiah Bond this week as a deep start, give me Jerry Jeudy. And I fucking hate Jerry Jeudy. Jay, Godwin had 10 targets last week. Yes, he had 3 catches on 10 targets, and it looked awful. If you go back and watch the film, he looks awful. It looks like, remember that clip last year of Zach Ertz trying to hurdle a guy and he got like this high off the ground? That's Godwin right now. So I don't know if that's going to continue, but I will say it doesn't look great for Chris Godwin in terms of his physical comeback, right? It's very, very promising that he was in the field that much and he had 10 targets. That is good, but I would much rather have Stephon Diggs. I'm just telling you, Jason, what I saw with my eyes, man. And you can go back and watch it. If you disagree after watching that, like every snap, I watched every route he ran. It was disgusting. He didn't look comfortable. He didn't look like he trusted his knee. The numbers are going to be there. I mean, the targets are nice. I get it. You're tied to Baker Mayfield. You got 2 or 3 more weeks before Michael Evans comes back. And now you have no Bucky Irving. So I'm not telling you not to start Godwin. I'm just saying, like, the upside of Godwin right now is not what Stephon Diggs' upside is, because Stephon Diggs is the one there where the number one there is Ibuka. And I feel like Diggs looks more like himself than Godwin does. And Godwin was never really a player that won based on athleticism, which could be an argument against what I'm saying. But the problem is, look at Cooper Kupp. When you have a guy that was winning on being savvy and just having enough athletically to like be elite, and they're not, they take a step back from that when they lose a half step, that's a major half step. Look at TJ Hawkinson right now. Hawkinson is awful. He is just cooked. Why? Because TJ Hawkinson was never really that athletic to begin with. And you lose that half step from a guy that can't afford to lose it, you're dust. We got Woody Marks to the moon versus a depleted Ravens defense. It is a depleted defense. I heard Kyle Hamilton got hurt in practice on Wednesday. So now you might be without Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, like 4 other potential Pro Bowlers. They're missing 6 starters. That is rough, man. That is rough. It seems too easy. I've just seen this play out before where a guy like Woody Marks in the situation, it seems easy coming off a career game, only gets 10 touches. So that's the worry. That's where, for me, it's like Rico Dowdle or Woody Marks. It's not even a discussion. I want the guy. For one, Woody Marks has Nick Chubb behind him. Yes, not an amazing player, but a trusted veteran. Who does Rico Dowdle have behind him? It's Trevor Etienne, who is an Etienne for one. For two, has multiple fumbles on punt returns, and the preseason he fumbled. Like, he has fumbling issues. So they're not going to trust Trevor Etienne. They're not. They're going to bring him in strictly to spell Rico Dowdle when he has 23 touches. I need another beer. So I'm going to play a clip here, and I'll get back to the comments. Give me 30 seconds, gentlemen. I'll find a good one here. What do I got? I got something here. I'm going to play this one real quick because it's fun.
I used to fuck guys like you in prison.
This is my Chris Godwin clip. I have this under here as slow. A guy that's slow. Love this clip too. Be back in 30 seconds to answer more of your questions, grabbing a beer.
Tell me, officer, do you have any idea how fast you were going?
Well, I got a 426 Hemi in her. I can get her up to as good as 155. Never do, though, of course, unless I'm chasing a cute chick in a Ferrari. I guess I was going about 65, tops.
7 miles an hour. And normally when I stop people, they pull under the shoulder.
Oh, I love Chris Farley. Boy, do I love Chris Farley. All right. Wally says, which trade package should I go after? Trade 1, Gibbs plus Nico or London. Trade 2, Henry plus Ladd or Debo. I'll be giving up. Oh, so you're giving up CD plus Mason or Walker. So again, you want to give up you want to keep Mason, give up Walker. So it's you want to trade CD and Walker. I want Gibbs and Nico, Gibbs and London, whichever one you prefer. That's the trade to go after. I don't mind the other one, Henry plus Ladd, but I mean, Ladd, as much as I think he's a bounce back guy, he will be fine. Nico and London are wide receiver ones. So I probably prefer Nico over London. It's close. So that's pick or poison. You're getting Gibbs. So you're doing that trade in a heartbeat, Wally. Heartbeat it. Mark, I don't think he asked what record the Bengals have to be at for them to consider bringing back Burrow. It's not about their record. It's about, are they still eligible for the playoffs, right? So if they're 7-7 and there's 3 games left and they have to go 3-0 and have some hope, some other teams losing, they're probably not bringing Burrow back because, the first game is going to be rough. So it's a decent division now because you have the Ravens struggling and the AFC looks a little more wide open than we thought. Ravens are struggling. Steelers are number 1 in that division, but they have an old dinosaur in Aaron Rodgers. The problem is there's multiple factors of why he won't come back. And the first one is that the surgery and the recovery doesn't go as smooth as they thought. And he won't come back in general, even if they are 8-6 or 8-5 or whatever, which they probably won't be. And then you have the factor of if they're eliminated from the playoffs. So it was nice that they were 2-0. That was cool, but it's not looking great now. J-Bob, go Birds. Go Birds. Fly, Eagles, fly. Look, got my It's Always Sunny shirt, bro. So just based on that, I am a kind of an Eagles fan because I root for those guys and they root for the Eagles. So not a fan of Philly fans in general. Sorry to break that to you. You seem like a pretty nice gentleman though. So actually Steve Casey, who might be on the show here in a little bit, he's the king of the Discord, that guy. He is an Eagles fan and a Philly fan. So we got Jason with a super chat. Thank you, bro. We got 40 plus watching. How hard is it double tap the screen? Oh, are you talking double tap as in like the video or super chat? Whatever you're saying, I appreciate you supporting me in general and trying to get the people up here supporting this shit because real knows real. Jason knows real. Appreciate that. Yeah, likes as well. All of it, man, because that brings more people in here. I get it, man. I'm guilty of it a little bit on YouTube as well, but generally it's with bigger channels where I'm just like, dude, I don't think they need the fucking like. They don't need the sub. You know what I mean? Like this channel does. And again, I have to play that. Do I have to play the South Park clip? Just some change. Can I get some change? All right, where am I at here? We're talking about J-Bob with the Eagles thing. Thank you, Jason, though. You're a fine addition to the group. Fine addition to the group. I don't know if you're on the page, if you're on the not the Patreon, the Discord, Jason, but I did link the Patreon below in the description. There's some cheap packages that get you on the Discord. And I actually like you. I might just bump your ass because you're cool as fuck. And the community's great and a lot of good perks, man. You can be a guest on the show, play in the leagues with me. I give away free entries in my fantasy leagues when you play with me in Story, free merchandise, just a bunch of good shit, man. Early access to the bets where I'm 18-10 this year, gentlemen. 18-10 on the year betting, 64%. That's in line with my last 3 years. So you're making money for betting them, baby. Be growing stuff. Pick 3: Keenan Allen, Pittman, Walker, Chase Brown, or Woody Marks. So again, hopefully, I'm going to say PPR. Just let me know the scoring, just so I don't have to guess. But I'm going to guess PPR. It's the most popular form of fantasy. You're starting Keenan Allen, Pittman. That's a really tough one, bro. What do you guys think in the chat? Help me out a little bit in this one because that one's tough. That is a toughie. I want to say Chase Brown for sure, just because you're getting volume and he's due for a big game. So I want to say Chase Brown. And then, dude, they're all like fringe must starts, if that makes sense. So I can't even give you an answer, bro. It's so tough. I think Keenan Allen has to be started, right? Pittman has a little bit of an injury, but you have Alec Pierce out there again. And then Kenneth Walker, probably the best player of the bunch, but he's sharing a lot of time with Charbonnet. I would go Chase Brown, Keenan Allen, and Woody Marks. That's my play. Chase Brown or Rachaad White. If it's PPR, Adam, you got to go Rachaad White. In half PPR, I can see you going Chase Brown. Full PPR, it's Rachaad White until further notice. I don't care about the matchup, J-Bob. I'm just saying, please do yourself a favor and go back and at least watch the highlights. Now, they're not going to show the incomplete passes that I saw. He just doesn't look right. And he was always going to look a little rough. But, dude, I love Chris Godwin. Like, his injury last year, I had Chris Godwin in like 10 leagues last year. He was wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, killing Mike Evans in fantasy points before he got hurt. And that fucking killed me. Sucked. Also, fuck you, Todd Bowles. Okay? Playing him in that game, you all remember, they were down by fucking 17 points, and they're playing Chris Godwin. That was bullshit. He should never been on the field. But not to get too heated up on that one. Kevin says, how do I feel about starting players in the same team in your lineup? So we just kind of got into that with Crydog's comment about starting 2 Carolina Panthers, Dowdle and Tet McMillan. And I forget who the other player was. It was Marvin Harrison. So if it's a bad team that's not going to score a lot of points, I don't like it. On a good team, I like it. You know, you want to start 2 Lions. You want to start 2 Ravens when they're healthy. You want to start 2 Bills, guys like that. But I don't, that doesn't really, it's not a deciding factor for me. I'm not really big into stacking unless it's best ball. So for me, I'm just going to start the best guy who's projected the most points, who I see has the best matchup. Those reasons, I try to take the teams away from it. Now, starting 3 players in the same team, not ideal. Hey, man, Alex, I did say I liked Bourne over Robinson, right? Like I did tell you that. I was more I didn't start Bourne in a lot of leagues. And I had some leagues where I am starting Tolbert and like I'm pretty desperate with injuries and buys, but I was already starting Tungus in like 7 leagues. I didn't want to start Tungus and Bourne. I did start Bourne in 1 league, and I did not start Robinson and pick up Robinson anywhere. So there's no way I would have told you Robinson over Bourne. And my reasoning at least was that the Vegas number was 41 yards for Bourne and 33 or 29 or whatever for Robinson. So like that's a deciding factor. We're talking about bums like this. It's I just trust in Vegas, right? At least as like a template. Yeah, I think Godwin's still going to be fine. I'm just saying he doesn't look dynamic, and he never really was dynamic. It just doesn't look good. And when you get Mike Evans back into the fold, where does the pecking order lie? Because he is not taking Ibuka's job. Ibuka is going to be still playing a lot in the slot. And like we know that Chris Godwin cannot play X receiver. He can play some Y. He can play around the formation. But yeah, maybe I'm a little hard on Godwin, but I don't know, man. I saw what I saw, and I did not like what I saw. Godwin is a dog, man. So you're a big Bucs fan, huh? Well, you know what? I want to say this. Give you a round of applause. Congratulations on Baker Mayfield, dude, because And the opposite, I guess, the opposite for the Cleveland Browns. Fuck you, Cleveland. You fucked up with the Deshaun Watson thing. No one mentions this. The Deshaun Watson trade, worst trade in the history of sports. The PR behind it, the fact you traded for an injured player, the fact that you traded for a guy that had a suspension for sexual misconduct for 2 or for 3, and the fact that they gave away Baker Mayfield for nothing, and you guys got him for free. You got Tom Brady. You won a Super Bowl. Super great times for Tampa Bay. I think they have a really good fan base too. I know not a lot of people are from Tampa area. It's mostly transplants. But for that being a situation like similar to like Arizona, you guys have very, very legit, loyal, knowledgeable sports fans. So I know Tampa Bay Lightning, same kind of thing. So not so much the Rays, because the Rays don't have a lot of fans. I'm jealous of you though, Jason, because I'm in Chicago and it's so expensive to be a season ticket holder of any of our teams to even go to a game. If I was in Tampa Bay, I would probably be a Bucs season ticket holder too. I know it's probably gone up in price since the Brady resurgence, but I know like the Rays, you can go to a game for like $5 fucking bucks. Like you're going to spend more money on beer than the ticket. So I'm jealous, man. I wish I was and they have good sports teams down there, man. And the Lightning won a cup, I think, a couple cups, and the Bucks have won multiple Super Bowls. So I'm super jealous of you, Jason, but I will say you have a good team to root for, man. And I do root for the Bucks. I root for Baker. They do it right down there. I think your coach is an idiot. I don't like Todd Bowles. He's a weird talker. He doesn't seem like a leader to me. Maybe he is. I just can't see him like firing up a team. And not to slander your coach too much. I just think he's an idiot. The Chris Godwin injury, what he did last year was just stupid. Now, a lot of coaches do that, so I'm not just singling him out, but he's part of that. Ryan says, are you my dad? How old are you? Because, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't fucking till like teenager, so probably not. Kevin says, reason I asked, I have Tyler Warren at tight end. Do you flex Pittman or go Marks? If you have Warren, that's kind of a deciding factor. Then probably go Marks. Ooh, Ryan with the hate on Philly. J-Bob's not going to like that one, bro. I don't hate Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia's a great city. I love Sunny is my favorite show. So, no, it's got a lot of history there, man. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff to do. The food's great. And there are some cool Philly fans. I feel like the majority, they get lumped into a group, which I hate doing, but like it's a pretty big group of notoriously like violent kind of asshole-ish fans, if I'm going to be honest. And there's other fan groups that suck too. There's also fan groups that are amazing. But just because you're a Steelers fan, they have a good fan group, right? A fan base. There's probably some dick-ass fucking Steelers fans out there. Nick says, as a Panthers fan, I really miss Cam Newton. Well, you know what, Nick? I'll say this. The referees in the NFL did Cam Newton dirty. They're kind of doing it to Justin Fields now. They didn't call anything on Cam Newton. He'd get blasted, dude. Blasted. And then no penalties. And they just let him get destroyed because he was so big. It was like the LeBron James treatment where they don't call fouls because he's so strong. Like, fuck that. Cam Newton was, hey, his 4-year prime, amazing. Now, I will say, unfortunately, Cam Newton gave up on the team in the Super Bowl. That fumble that he did not jump on was egregious and can't be defended. I like Cam Newton. I won a lot of money on Cam Newton in fantasy. The MVP year, his rookie year, always liked him. Seems like a good guy too, but he gave up on his team. I think he was like making a stand that his offensive line sucked, but like that game was in reach and he fucked up. Hunter Henry or Goddard full PPR. I'm gonna go Hunter Henry in this spot full PPR. If it was half, I'd consider Goddard probably more likely for a touchdown. Give me Hunter Henry until we see another wide receiver there step up. Hunter Henry is the number 2 option. So Wi-Fi. Hey guys, just want to say Rams suck. I mean, you don't have to pile on the Rams right now because they just lost to a fucking minor league squad right there. Now, albeit coached by the great Kyle Shanahan, who I wish he could put game plans like this in the playoffs together in the Super Bowl because he doesn't do that when he has a healthy team. He does it when he has nobodies. So Jason says, I like drinking beers and football, brother. You and my people. I got to play this clip from poker. He made this for me. This is great.
Drinking beers, let's go Bears. It's the Fanatics Professional Podcast.
I guess he AI'd me and like made it. And I don't think I look like that. Hopefully I don't. Not saying that guy was super ugly. That was just an AI created guy with the sunny shirt. I think I'm more handsome than that dude, at least. So, but I think it's pretty funny. Yeah, drinking beers, baby. Or am I? Maybe this is always water. Maybe it's an act. This is all water. You don't know. You don't know. We don't know. We got Ryan Allen, Pittman, and Woody. That's for the one comment. I think you go Rachaad White if it's full PPR. Half PPR, go Chase Brown. More likely for a touchdown, probably, just because I think Sean Tucker's getting the goal line work there. Went from a quarterback bigger than linebackers to one smaller than a soccer player. Well, he's talking about Bryce Young. Well, you know what? As a Bears fan, thank you, Carolina, for that gift, because that was a fucking gift. You gave us not just one pick, you gave us a bunch of picks and DJ Moore for a non-certain quarterback, and you could have had CJ Stroud. Now, CJ Stroud actually isn't that good, but he's better than Bryce Young. Yeah, Adam, that's a tough one, bro. I think Rachaad White's safer. You probably still have to go Rachaad White and have PPR. I don't know. I'd like to not overreact to 4 weeks. Now, it's not Chase Brown's problem. It's the offensive line, the offense, and like the ultimate, like, how many points are they going to score, right, against the Lions? I personally think the Bengals are going to put up some numbers this week. Call me crazy, but like, everyone also said that the Niners were going to lose by fucking 31 points against the Rams, and they won the game. So it just seems too easy just to say. And unfortunately, we just saw the Bengals have the worst game I've ever seen. That 3-point outing against the Broncos. But again, Broncos, amazing defense. Vikings the week before, amazing defense. Lions have a good defense. It's not on par with those two. So I do think that Zach Allen can kind of put a game plan together here for Browning. Eagles own the Bucs now. Baker is that guy. Well, the Bucs have owned the Eagles, right? Wasn't it like 3-0 or 3-1 or something like that? I know that 1 year, in between the Super Bowl loss and then, so it was 2023, you guys got worked by them in the playoffs. That was Baker's first year there. It's a tough matchup for you guys because Baker's a fucking dog. Well, Watson is a criminal. And again, I don't know if he actually did that shit. There's a chance Watson didn't even do any of that shit. You know what's wild, though? Deshaun Watson was voted NFL Man of the Year when he was in Houston. So just wrap your head around that. Like, they're just giving this award out to anyone. Like, that's like Bill Cosby winning, like, Father of the Year, or like Boyfriend of the Year, like, before it happened, or OJ winning, like, Husband of the Year. No. Like, okay, Aaron Hernandez, if he played longer and he didn't kill people, would he have won NFL Man of the Year? Maybe. Ray Rice? They shouldn't throw that award around like that. Panthers had Baker on practice squad playing D-line. They were even dumber. Yeah, and you had Sam Darnold. So the Panthers had fucking Baker and Sam Darnold, and they were both, I think Sam Darnold was probably 27. No, probably younger. Sam Darnold was probably 25, and Baker was like 24, 25. Super young. And that's the problem with the Panthers, right? Is that, like, that's why those guys busted with the Jets and with the Browns, because they're bad organizations. And the Panthers had both of them, and they both sucked there. You get Baker a couple games with Sean McVay, and now Baker's a fucking G, man. Jason, funding the show right now. Appreciate you, dude. Todd, take care of that defense. Should have brought back Gruden calling plays. Imagine Gruden and Baker match made in heaven right there. Yeah. Oh, Todd Bowles, again, great coordinator. Great coordinator. Like, there's a difference between being a great coordinator and a great head coach. I don't think he's a bad head coach. I think some of the decisions he makes are just stupid. And you could say that about 27 coaches in the NFL. And the thing is, Story, you guys know Story, he hates all head coaches. Like, I give him more leniency. I think there's 10 good coaches in the NFL. He thinks there's like 2. So Todd Bowles, to me, just seems like very blah. Very blah. We got J Bob with his nightly donation of $2 for Go Birds. Thank you, dude. And I'm gonna, I'll try to be nicer on the Eagles just because of you. And I don't hate the Eagles. You guys think I hate the Eagles, but I don't. I really don't. I actually don't hate Philly fans either. I gotta get back where I was here. Okay, we got Captain Spock. First week back, 10 targets, not too bad for Godwin. Gotta give him a break for the rust. Yeah, again, 10 targets. And the fact he played so much, super impressive, man. Super impressive. Just did not look right to me. And we'll see if he can hold up. Baller, dude. Rico is pretty much a must start. I didn't do rankings. I don't really do rankings for the week. And maybe I should start doing that if I'm going to start, having like it'd be easier for me to just give you the rankings. I would probably have Rico as like a top 20 play, not even like an RB, like a mid-range RB2. So yeah, especially with bye weeks and injuries, he might be higher, honestly, like 17. Ooh, Alex, a little bit of ammunition here. Anytime I draft Saquon or AJ, I become an Eagles fan for the week. So they let me down. Go Denver. What do you guys think the chances of Denver beating the Eagles this week? Because I think it's decent. They're getting 3.5 points. I'm talking about straight up. I give it a 40% chance. I think there's a 40% chance. And I actually wanted to get into this real quick before I'll get to your guys' questions in a second. I think Denver, this is the time to jump on this. Where's it at? So I think you guys have all heard my Ravens Super Bowl pick, because right now I can't do it. Ravens are 11-1. I think Lamar is missing until the bye, and I think the Ravens might go 0-2 or 1-1, maybe 0-2, and they'll go into the bye at 1-5. If that happens, you smash the Ravens. Right now they're 11-1 to win the Super Bowl. They might go to 25-1. If that's the case, I'm throwing $100 in the Ravens, because their schedule after the bye, that's why it's the number is what it is, and the Steelers being the team in their division they're chasing. Their schedule was cupcake, bro. It's like the Cardinals, the Bears. It's like they have one hard game. They already played all their hard games. And if you can get Ravens, if they just sneak into the playoffs, you know they're going to be like a top 3 favorite team in the AFC, maybe top 2. But I wanted to say, Broncos right now 25-1, 25-1 for the Broncos to win the Super Bowl. That could be a dark horse team, because with what we've seen with the Chargers, losing Joe Alt and losing Slater in the preseason, like their offensive line went from a strength to a weakness. And, you know, we've seen Justin Herbert get hurt in the past, and they're throwing the ball so much, they're throwing it down the field. If you do that with no offensive line, Justin Herbert's going to get himself hurt. So I like Denver at 25-1 as a dark shot, right? They're going to make the playoffs. Reason why Nico over London, just curious. Never been so big on either guys. I just know they're wide receiver ones. Just because I trust, and again, CJ Stroud's been bad for fantasy, but I trust CJ Stroud more than I trust Michael Penix. And I'm a big Drake London guy, dude. I love both these guys this year. I have a lot of shares of both of them. I think Nico's a little safer. I think Drake London's a better player. But I think the deciding factor is Drake London, now he has a bye week this week. He's playing with an AC joint injury, which tends to linger all year. So that's the deciding factor of Nico over London. Nico's 100% healthy. I know he was in the injury report this week with a little something. London has an actual injury to the shoulder, so give me Nico. Nick, I get what you're saying, and he put his body on the line. That's why it's ironic that Cam Newton put his body on the line all the time, unnecessarily sometimes, and like he taunt guys and they get crushed in the end zone. I know specifically a couple plays he did that. And then in the Super Bowl with like 4 minutes left in the game, jump on the fucking ball. That's all I'm saying. Wally, Vikings fans are like class acts, dude. They're very knowledgeable. You guys, like, that's the number one home, like probably that in Seattle, I feel, are the number 1 and 2 home field advantages, where like you can't get play calls in there. You guys are all dressed in purple, just super into the game. And I don't know, like the Vikings fans I've encountered have been very, like, even women, very, not to be sexist, but very knowledgeable football fans. And you guys have not always you've had a good product, similar to the Bears. You haven't won, right? Like, have you guys ever won a Super Bowl? I don't think so. If you did, it was a long time ago. You've had some good years, the AP years, the Randy Moss years, Randall Cunningham, Dante Culpepper, some really good shit. But was it Randall Cunningham? Maybe I'm talking on my ass. But Culpepper, love Culpepper. But always competitive, but again, never won. So what's going on, T-Verse? Sorry, I'm a little behind on these comments. I'll get through them. Help me out here. Derrick Henry, Kamara, Kenneth Walker, Dowdle, pick 3. I think we're going Henry for sure, Dowdle for sure, and then Kamara. Henry, Dowdle, Kamara. That's the way I'm ranking this one, dude. And the Cardinals are not good against the run, so Kamara should eat. And he hasn't been catching a lot of passes. He will. Kyle Shanahan is a fraud in terms of he fucking folds under pressure, right? He is a great, like, he's another guy that's probably not a great head coach, but an elite coordinator. But he's such a good coordinator that he needs to be a head coach because he's overqualified to be a coordinator. But he just fucks up all the time, dude. Like the Patriots 28-3 thing, that was Kyle Shanahan. And then in the Super Bowl, a couple times, just rough, man. Time management, play calling. He's throwing the ball when he's up by fucking 10 points. Like, bad. But Kyle Shanahan as a coordinator is a top 3 guy. I mean, I prefer Sean McVay because I feel like Sean McVay is a better head coach. I think Kyle Shanahan's probably a better coordinator. They're both great with quarterbacks, but I give the nod to Sean McVay just based on the fact that he's a better leader. And you know what's insane? I every time I hear this, I've heard it like 5 times and it still blows my mind. Sean McVay was a head coach of the Rams at 30 years old. Just wrap your head around that for a second. 30 years old. Sean McVay is a head fucking coach. He's in his 9th year. I think he's 39, 9th year as a head coach. And he's still the 4th youngest coach in the league. He's been there fucking 9 years, dude. Sean McVay, what a G, man. What a guy. I love Sean McVay. I wish we had a head coach like Sean McVay in Chicago. Again, Ben Johnson's fine, but Sean McVay's a leader. Is Gainwell going to have a bigger role in Pitt? I think he's earned 50-50, and he was actually getting a decent amount of run before, he had that random spot start there in Ireland. But yeah, I think 40 to 50% snap share. It's a 50-50 split. Gainwell looked great too. I've always kind of been a fan of him. He proved more to me though. He didn't seem just like a ancillary piece, right? I thought he was more of a scat back. He could run between the tackles, and Jaylen Warren is not a lead back, right? They're both not lead backs. So I think this just sucks for Caleb Johnson because, we didn't factor in Kenneth Gainwell to the equation. It was just like, oh, can he overtake Jaylen Warren? Well, now he's got to overtake Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell. Not a good situation. I'm dropping Caleb Johnson in the couple leagues I have him in. I think I'm holding on to him in one of them that's really deep. Other than that, you can cut ties with that dude. J-Bob, it's disgusting. He's asked me if I watched the Bengals offense since Burrow went down. It's disgusting. The offensive line, the awesome, you've all seen the clip of the picture of the 4 offensive linemen just all blocking the defensive tackle, a 4-on-1, like a gangbang block. And then there's 2 free rushers off the edge just coming to crush Browning. It was bad when Burrow was there, dude. Let's be honest. Burrow had they scored 17 points against the Browns. Okay, great defense, whatever. And then they weren't doing that great against the Jaguars until Browning came in. So it's the offensive line's a problem. The play calling's a problem. It's even more of a problem with Browning because I said this on the stream a couple of days ago. They're literally making Browning into Russell Wilson. It's either checkdowns or like go routes and like out routes. It's just like he's just heaving the ball up to guys towards the sideline. Like there's nothing intermediate. There's no creativity. Jake Browning's not a bad quarterback, man. I mean, we saw it. He went 4-3 2 years ago. We saw it. He's a decent backup, a young guy that can play ball, and they're not giving him any chance to succeed there. So I think it's going to change. What's up, Brian? Thoughts on the new Taylor Swift song, Wood, which according to my wife is all about Travis Kelce's Wood. At least I'm told by my wife. No, man, I don't listen to Taylor Swift. You know what? I'll say this. I did kind of like Taylor Swift when she was starting to be a thing. I kind of liked her music a little bit based on like other artists in that genre. But this whole thing has just turned me off on her. I like Billie Eilish. Okay. If I'm going to go down that road, I want Billie Eilish, baby. Billie Eilish is legit. Legit. I don't know if you ever listen to her music. I'm not into that music at all. Super chat from Jason. My fundraiser right now. I appreciate you, bro. 85 Bears, 2,000 Ravens, $2. Who had the best defense? It's got to be the 85 Bears, just based on the fact that how many points they scored. And I know $2, scored a lot of points, defensive touchdowns and shit with Derek Brooks. But 85 Bears, like, it was scary to play them. Yeah, okay, Adam mentions the Legion of Boom, which I would put probably behind all of these teams because it was easier to play defense when they did it. So I'm going to rank it 85 Bears, $2, 2000s Raven. Oh, fuck. I don't do that's so tough. And I'm not trying to be biased because, again, I was not born during 85. I've met a lot of 85 Bears working at a country club. They all come to play golf there. Super nice guys for the most part. That defense, though, like the amount of quarterbacks they injured was just crazy. And they didn't have a great secondary, but their scheme was just unreal. So I put 85 Bears as a slight lean, and then pick your poison with Ravens and Bucks. Bucks were so opportunistic there with Barber getting so many pick sixes. And then, Brooks is one of my favorite all-time linebackers. That dude was like Brian Urlacher before Brian Urlacher, and he was better in coverage. And Brian Urlacher was a lead in coverage, but that guy was like a fucking safety back there. He was like Ed Reed playing linebacker. So that's my answer. What do you guys think in the chat? Here we go. Will the Pats beat the Bills? I do like the chances there. They're 8.5-point underdogs, but probably not. But this is a spot because the Bills' schedule is super soft. And if they're going to lose a game, this seems like a likely game for them to lose, which is crazy. I'm saying that when they're 8.5-point favorites. But Drake May is a little mini version of Josh Allen. And if he plays his ass off, they could do it. Jay, I hit a nice parlay between Frisco +8, Tungus, Bournes, and Bournes yards. Yeah, man, you mentioned the Discord, I think. I was all about Tungus. Like, I couldn't stop talking about Tungus, and I'm super happy that paid off, not just for, like, my financial gain, because I had his first touchdown I won $200 on that. My bet of the night, $200 on his yardage number, which was actually kind of close, even though we had 11 targets. And then I had him in 7 spots starting in fantasy, and he scored 17.1 points. So as my fill-in for Tucker Kraft. So that was a three-way fucking banger for me. So I'm glad that you got on that train a little bit. We were good under Jerry Richardson, Tepper, Jerry Jones, but worse. Jerry Jones is a fucking clown. So what's going on, Cap? Cap for life. PPR, Sean Tucker or Brian Thomas Jr.? It's Brian Thomas Jr. Like, if it was standard, maybe Sean Tucker. We're not getting cute here. It's Brian Thomas Jr. I love Sean Tucker, but we got Adam here. Devastated by injuries. Judy or Ioman just this week. 0.5 PPR. Man, Calvin Ridley is yet to be ruled out, I believe. I have to check on that. I don't think he's been ruled out, but I think if it was full PPR, it's Judy for sure. In half, it's kind of a toss-up. I think if you want upside and you're a favorite to lose your matchup, you go Io Manor. He catch a deep bomb. If you just need 12 points, I think Judy's a safe option. It's Fannin, bro. Likely without Lamar, he's still on a limited snap count. Give me Fannin. I like Fannin this week. With the rookie quarterback, I think Fannin, and without Cedric Tillman, Fannin's gonna boom this week. I almost put Fannin as a player prop bet for me this week. He's at like 28.5 yards. I can't believe how low that is, but I like the other ones better. Well, J-Bob, you can't say 0%, okay? 0%. So all the people that were saying that, I'm sure you might have been one of them, that the Rams were going to crush the 49ers, right? Like, the Broncos have much more of a chance on paper to beat the Eagles than the Niners had to beat the Rams, right? Like, am I crazy here? I don't know. I maybe 40% is high. I think it's 40%, at least 33%. At least you could have lost the last couple games. And I think the Broncos are better than the Bucs. I guess is my takeaway. As currently constructed, because the Bucs are beat up and the Broncos are healthy. Very high. I think Denver is going to beat the Eagles. Going to be like last year when Denver went to Tampa last year and beat the shit out of us. Denver's defense is just so legit. They're a top 5, I think top 2 unit, but top 5 for sure unit with good scheme, great players, a good front. Patrick Surtain's a fucking boss. And Bo Nix is very erratic, so it's going to come down to him, right? That's why one of my bets of the week is Bo Nix over 20 yards rushing, because he throws picks. He might just be a little hesitant in this game and run the ball. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball against the Eagles, but I think they have a chance, man. Reggie, Roma Dunze for Ash and Genty and PPR. I'd rather have Ash and Genty. Give me Ash and Genty. You're buying lower on him and trading, selling high on Rome, if that's your side of it. Mr. Free Throw, what's going on? Chase Brown, Kamara, Judkins, J.K. Dobbins, and Rico. Pick 3. It is Rico, Kamara, and Judkins, I believe. I'm going to guess this is full PPR. Either way, it's those 3. And then I'd have Dobbins last in this matchup. They are probably toast. Now, they could win if they win a couple freebies, right? If they get a couple lucky games, but the momentum, and again, momentum is real in sports. This is not trending in the right direction. Yeah, this is Trey Benson's job, man. He was a second-round pick just a year ago. So Trey Benson's job, Doesn't seem like a crazy major injury, not like Braylon Allen. So it might be 5 weeks, but DeMarcato's just a guy. Michael Carter's bounced around the league. So, and the thing is, I don't think either of them will like ball out because they're going to split with each other. So I don't think either of them are going to have the opportunity to really show they're a true bell cow. Now, will his usage be a little lower coming off an injury if one of these guys shows out? Yes. Is Trey Benson losing his job? No. Got 2005, 2008 Steelers in that discussion of defenses here. I wouldn't put him up there, but Palomalu was a fucking thing for sure. Well, yeah, none of us probably watched the Bears live. I don't think my target audience is older people, but I watched a lot of highlights. The Ravens were crazy. Yes, Ed Reed is one of my favorite players of all time. I love that his first game ever. I don't know if you've seen the clip where he has that pick six and he like literally it's like a punt return for him and he like literally eludes 8 different guys and then celebrates with the ball and gets it knocked out for a fumble. And that's not an Ed Reed's DNA at all. Maybe that was a little bit of Miami Hurricane from college DNA in him, but he learned from that and he was just the most dynamic, smart football player that also hustled his ass off. Loved Ed Reed, man. Cheerio, what's going on? He had Benson, Neighbors, and Burrow. Traded Kamara, Diggs, and Hunter Henry for Kraft, Genty. Hopefully a good trade for me. Yeah, I think so, man. I mean, you upgraded tight end and running back, and all you gave up was Stephon Diggs. So definitely in on that trade, bro. Brian, cut Fields, Coleman, Iowa Manor, or go kickerless. Oh, this is in the XFL, a league we play together. You can't go kickerless, Brian, because it's a shallow league and you can't do it. So you got to cut Coleman or Io Manor. I mean, or Fields. You can cut any of them. It doesn't matter. It's a shallow league. Trust me, I do too. I made that stupid trade for the Malik Neighbors because I had fucking Jordan Mason as my third running back and I can't start him because there's no flex. And I traded Buka and fucking Mason for a fucking guy that's out the next week. Fucking hurts, man. Hurts. I'm hurt. I'm dying. Yeah, Ty. I mean, dude, Sean McVay, what are you doing, bro? Like, he said the play call was on him. How about you say going for it was on you? Because Mac Jones could not fucking move. You still had 3 minutes and 40 seconds and 2 timeouts left? Like, kick the ball. You can get the ball back and go win the game. And I don't think they were marching down the field. I think they would have played it conservative to play for the tie. Because for the Niners in that situation, a tie is a win. It was a loss. That feels like a loss for the Rams. And a tie would have felt like a loss for the Rams. But maybe that's what was their thought process. But they actually got the loss. So we got Junkbuster in here. What's up, man? Full PPR. Who should I drop for Charbonnet? I have K9. I have Addison, Shakir, JSN, and Higgins. Is that T. Higgins? Fuck. I mean, that's tough, man. Who should you drop? It can't be Shakir. I wouldn't drop JCM. And I wouldn't drop T. Higgins. I'd probably drop Addison over those guys. It's Addison or Shakir. It's your call on that one. I'd probably drop Addison. No problem, Reggie. Hopefully you subscribed. You can check out a lot more of these shows, man. Appreciate you and your comment, and that's what I'm here for. I've got a chance to pick up Swift. The Bears are a blind spot for me. I've heard on the decline. I mean, you're talking about on the waivers or like a trade? Because I wouldn't trade. His numbers are okay right now, and he looks worse than his numbers are. That's the problem, Adam. But, I mean, Kyle Monangai hasn't shown out. Roshan Johnson just sucks. He hasn't even seen the field. So it is DeAndre Swift's job, and if the Bears' offense continues to improve or even stay where it's at, which is pretty good, DeAndre Swift's a fine RB2. Oh, we got Jay. Jay's an old guy. He says, Lions fan and the 85 Bears defense were hands down the best of any listed. Yeah, it was, like I said, they were just generational, and I can't believe that team only won 1 Super Bowl. Mike Ditka is one of the dumbest fucking pieces of shit, not to be too upset, but like I hate Mike Ditka. I think he's a fucking asshole. I met him. He's a prick. That's not even why I hate him. It was a Ricky Williams thing, and it was the fact that he let go of Buddy Ryan when Buddy Ryan, it was the same thing with the Cowboys, right? Jerry Jones didn't want to give any credit to anyone else. Mike Ditka didn't want to give any credit to Buddy Ryan, even though Buddy Ryan deserved more credit than Mike Ditka. Mike Ditka's a clown. Bad coach. Was a good player in the 60s. Bad coach. Idiot. Traded an entire draft and another second rounder for a running back named Ricky Williams. Regardless if Ricky Williams ended up being fucking Herschel Walker or ended up being Adrian Peterson, you don't do that. Look how bad that aged. Fucking Mike Ditka, moron. I hate Mike Ditka. I know it's not a popular opinion in Chicago because most Bears fans are morons. They think Mike Ditka's a god. Mike Ditka's a fucking clown. Terrible coach. Any other coach would have won 3 Super Bowls with that team. JDT, what's going on, bro? Cheers, cheers, cheers. Friday night, late night Friday night show. Might just be me solo. My guest is maybe bailing on me. I haven't heard from him. It's Steve Casey. You guys know him. He's a shit. He is my Discord manager. Joseph, should I trade Jalen Warren for Cam Scatterbo straight up? Yeah, bro. Cam Scatterbo. Do that right now. Run to your computer. Run to your guy. Call him up. Do that right now. I think it's Addison. If you want to drop T. Higgins, I'm not doing it. I still have some faith in that offense. And the problem is the Vikings offense looks kind of equally busted. So give me the second wide receiver in Cincinnati than in Minnesota. I just know like T. Higgins is a better player than Addison. I like Addison. He's had a nice start to his career, but T. Higgins is a touchdown dude. I know Addison's caught a lot of touchdowns in his career. No problem, Adam. That's what I'm hoping. And the matchups will get better for Browning. They will. The Fog Bowl was insane, Jason. I don't understand how. I love the I do really appreciate, not for fantasy, but I love like inclement weather games that are like really extreme, whether it be really cold, not so much really hot, but like really rainy, snow games, fog games. Give me all that shit. I can't get enough of it. AJ Brown, Marv, and JMO starting this week for me due to injuries. Do I have any hope? Yeah, bro. I mean, AJ Brown, AJ's fine. Marv's fine. JMO could have a big week, so it could be a lot worse than that. I'm starting Jalen Tolbert in a bunch of leagues. Alfred, how do we feel about Ollie Gordon, the backup behind A-Chain? I love being a step ahead of injuries. Could slate him in for Trey Benson, who won't see the field for another 5 weeks. I wouldn't drop Trey Benson. I'd rather have Trey Benson than Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon's in that handcuff role that Rico Dowdle was in. He's not quite in the Brian Robinson Jr., Tyler Algier, that faction of handcuffs, but he's good, and he's going to get some play now. And here's the upside with Ollie Gordon that could happen is there's a chance without Tyreek Hill, they play A-Chain in the slot, maybe 15 or 20% of the snaps, and they're going to play Ollie Gordon and A-Chain in the field at the same time. On top of getting Ollie Gordon, his 14 to 17 snaps a game. Now he might have 22 snaps a game, and he gets some goal line work. So, yeah, I like Ollie Gordon probably more as a standalone option than some of those other handcuffs. But unfortunately, like the starting running back, if it's not A-Chain on a fading Miami team, is not what I'd prefer. Tyler Algier and Blake Corum and some of these other guys that are attached to better offenses. I mean, JD, the Vikings offense might get better, but unfortunately the quarterback play isn't going to get any better because Carson Wentz is Carson Wentz. Now he can put up some numbers, but he's going to turn the ball over, and eventually you're going to stop trusting him because you have a great defense. And JJ McCarthy has not showed me shit. Okay. He didn't show us shit in college because he didn't throw the ball in college. He looked good in the first preseason game of his rookie year, and then he got hurt. And then he's had one good quarter of football, and he's played 8 quarters. Now, that's a small sample size, but that's a really bad percentage. So J.J. McCarthy doesn't look like that guy for me, man. The ball doesn't come out of his hand right. He's not overly physical. He's not that fast. Like, he's a leader. Okay, you know what? Again, I say this all the time. That's a nice way of saying a guy is scrappy, right? Like in the NBA, they call white players scrappy because they can't say anything else about him. J.J. McCarthy, he's a winner. Well, he's a winner in college when he played with Michigan with awesome offensive line and awesome playmakers, Colson Loveland, some really good players, Roman Wilson. He don't have that. He has good playmakers now, but it's the NFL. Everyone's good, and he is not. So maybe I'm wrong about J.J. McCarthy. I thought he was overdrafted. He has not impressed me at all. Yeah, Ollie Gordon's a power back, man. I liked Ollie Gordon coming out. Here's the thing about Ollie Gordon. In 2023, Ollie Gordon was the number 1 running back in the country in college at Oklahoma State. He won whatever the award is. There's a name for it. He won that award in 2023. I think he came down with an injury or something early in the year in 24 and played through it, had bad numbers, fell to a 5th-round pick. He would have been a 2nd or 3rd-round pick if he had come out in 23, if he was allowed to. Then they don't allow guys coming out early in the NFL. But Ollie Gordon is an elite prospect, and he is a huge, fast, strong dude. I wish the Bears would have taken him because it was a 5th-round pick, man. And I think it would be a great combo, right? Like, think of what happened with Mostert and A-Chain that year. It was the offense was good, though. So if you don't have an elite offense, it's hard to sustain one running back. Definitely hard to sustain two. So we have to – the offense has to get better. Without Tyreek Hill, I don't think it's going to get any better. So he's more of a handcuff for me. And you can start him. I think I'm starting him in a league this week. A super deep 12-team, like 3 flex league with running backs and wide receivers and 3 flexes. I needed a running back because I have a lot of receivers, and I'm starting him. Yeah, no problem, dude. Thank you. Adam, Loveland's a bust, man. He was always going to be a bust. He should have never gone ahead of Tyler Warren. Never gone ahead of Tyler Warren. That was a mistake. Big mistake on that one. And he is just not, I don't know what he does. I don't know who he is. I comped him to Dalton Kincaid coming out of college. He was Dalton Kincaid, who has disappointed for the most part from that first-round draft capital. The nice thing is Dalton Kincaid was like 27th overall in the NFL draft. We took him fucking 10th or 12th, or I think it was 10th. Colson Loveland. Awful pick. Cole Kmet's fine. Cole Kmet's a better player than him right now. So he does need more time, and he might be a fine receiving tight end. The difference is Tyler Warren went after him, and Tyler Warren is a good tight end, is a good blocker, is dynamic after the catch, can do a lot of things with him. He can throw the ball. He can run the ball out of the backfield. He can block. He can run good routes. He's a tank. Like, Tyler Warren's a real dude, and that's why the Loveland pick seems worse. Now, if there was no Tyler Warren, okay, it's a bad pick. It'd be like a Kyle Pitts situation. But, like, this is worse than Kyle Pitts because Kyle Pitts, I at least understood why he was taken that high because Kyle Pitts is 6'6" and ran a fucking 4.4 40. It's Calvin Johnson shit. Colson Loveland is not that player. He's not an awe guy, right? So, bad pick for the Bears. Trojan Force lost Tyreek and needed wide receivers. Just traded Wandale and JCM for Olave and Devonta Smith. So he traded Wandale and JCM. Oh, fuck yeah, bro. You killed that trade. Why did that guy do that? He bought high on Wandale? Love that trade. Thanks, Jason. What do you do for work if you're still on here? Wow, Maury the best. That's some pretty elite. Thank you again for the super chats, Jason. I appreciate you, brother man. Tyler Warren's gonna be the greatest tight end in Colts franchise history, if not the NFL history. I mean, it's not gonna happen, unfortunately. Rob Gronkowski has that honor, and Tony Gonzalez is pretty good, and Travis Kelce in his own right was pretty amazing. So I'm not gonna go that far, but I think Tyler Warren's gonna be an All-Pro, not a Pro Bowler, an All-Pro, and it's potential to be a Hall of Famer. So you can't say he's a Hall of Famer now after 4 games. Can't do it. Had a really good junior year, whatever it was, his last year in Penn State, very good, but. He is elite. We'll say that. I'm not going to just crown the guy, though. I can see the criticism about McCarthy, but at the same time, he was running for his life in those 2 games. Yeah, man, he was. But you know what? I get he was a young player, and, like, not everyone's Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson that they can make something out of nothing. But even when he wasn't, though, is my point, JD. Even when he wasn't, the ball, he was not fitting the ball in tight windows. The ball was not coming out of his hand clean, man. And I don't know if that was nerves, because he hadn't played football in over a year. It might have been nerves. He just is not, it doesn't fit the mold of what I'm looking for. And I just don't know. He's like a jack of all trades, if you want to say that. He's a master of none. So I want my quarterbacks to have a couple elite traits. He doesn't seem to have any. And his elite trait is winning, they say. That's not sticky, man. I don't even know what that means. So in the NFL, I don't care, right? Like Josh Rosen was a guy that had he reminds me much more of Josh Rosen than he does of insert quarterback X here that has succeeded. And Josh Rosen was also a 10th overall pick, overdrafted, but no, dude, Maury, I get what you're saying because Tyler Warren has a skill set and the eye test and the grittiness, not to throw that stupid word around, grittiness, right? Like, but he actually has it. Like, I believe in that more than I believe in JJ McCarthy's a winner. So Tyler Warren has all these intangibles and like things to love about his game as a rookie, which in the past, 3-4 years ago, 5-6 years ago, was always tight ends take some time to develop. They're always going to struggle. I go back to Eric Ebron, right, who's a high draft pick that sucked for 4 years and can't come to the Colts, and he scored fucking 13 touchdowns or whatever it was. Now recent developments with Sam Laporta and with Brock Bowers and some of these other guys, you're expected to produce right away, but he's actually playing like those guys, especially Brock Bowers. He was essentially playing wide receiver and getting dump downs and in garbage time. Tyler Warren's playing big boy football. Sorry. Like, he's a real man. He's actually playing the position right. And his numbers aren't even indicative of how good he's doing. So Tyler Warren, I mean, I think, yes, best of all time is a little much, but it looks like a slam dunk pick. And that's what makes the Loveland pick so bad. Like, I would have been pissed if we had taken an offensive lineman ahead of him, but we took another tight end ahead of him. That is bad. So just a fucking trash draft pick, man. Baller, it's Io Manor by a mile, bro. Especially if Ridley plays. If Ridley doesn't play. If Ridley plays, now you have a discussion for me of Troy Franklin or Io Manor, but it doesn't seem like Ridley's going to play with it. He has a wrist injury and like a hamstring. So Io Manor for sure over Franklin. What's up, G. Allen? Jordan Addison or Derrick Henry for flex PPR? It's Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. He's going to have 20 touches this week, man. They're going to have to run the ball. Jay says, would I trade Warren for Chase Brown? Is this Jaylen Warren? Okay, he says Jaylen Warren. I would do that in a heartbeat. Give me Chase Brown. What's the plays? Are you talking about the gambling plays? I got you, Irish. Here we go, bro. Again, the video comes out Friday, as in today, at between 5 and 7 p.m. Central. Now, if you want to get these plays early, because a lot of these lines has moved, I linked in the Patreon in this video in the description. I'll give you all the plays early, a lot of other good stuff too. There's a bunch of tiers. If you want to get the plays, I usually bet these on Thursday. You'll get them Thursday. As soon as I bet them, I'll post them. 18-10 on the year, boys. Hop on this shit. I've been 64% the last 3 years. This is the 4th year of this. 64% on these prop bets. So, I mean, you got to pay some juice. I don't ever do any prop bet over minus 120. Minus 120 is the lowest I'll do. Usually they're minus 110, average odds. So, love these. My bet of the week's Ted McMillan, but I like Shaheed. And if you're going to do Shaheed, do yourself a favor, ladder those up, do alternate lines, start at 60 yards. Shaheed for 100 receiving yards is 11-1, dude. That's what's up. I'll keep this on the screen for a second. What's going on, Matt? Oh, man. DeMarcado or Cup? That's tough one, bro. That's tough one. Maybe Cup. I hate it, but I don't know about DeMarcado, man. Probably Cup and PPR, dude. I think they're going to throw the ball there. I hate saying it. I'm not confident in that one. Adam, this is the worst. I went over on the stream in the beginning of this stream, all the injuries so far. And it's not just the injuries to the players, like Joe Burrow's injuries affected that whole team. It's probably the worst I've seen to start a year. And the problem is I don't think it's getting any better, because this week we had all the injuries with Chuba Hubbard and now Bucky Irving. It's fucking Lamar Jackson. It's rough, man. Kenneth Walker or Diggs. Drake May stack against Buffalo. Nobody. If it's half PPR, I'm going Kenneth Walker. Full PPR, I'm going Diggs. Baller, it's Io Manor again. If Io Manor is the starter there, there's no Calvin Ridley, then it is Io Manor. If Calvin Ridley plays, I'm going Jalen Tolbert. Irish, we're going to go over all those, the deeper plays there tomorrow night at midnight Central Time. That's the gambling show. So I haven't really looked through that. I just do my main bets here, and then tomorrow I'll start looking at some deeper ones. Griffin, Stroud, Young, or draft or dart for a quarterback fill-in for Lamar. I want to get Stafford. Yeah, that sucks that they didn't put him on. They didn't put him out early enough. What's the scoring? Because if it's 6 for a passing touchdown, I'm going Stroud or Young. If it's 4 for a passing touchdown, I'm going Jackson Dart, because he's going to scramble. Io Man again. Io Manor. If Ridley's out, it's Io Manor over all those guys. London lost neighbors and have bye weeks this week. I hate asking that question too. Hey man, it's all good. I'm in some leagues where it's just rough right now, and you got to get through it, right? And you know what? Kendrick Bourne last night, right? Like I didn't want to start him because I was waiting on. I started him in one league, but the game script and all that shit. I was just like a little worried about just how much they're going to throw. Start 2, AJ Brown, JMO, or Godwin, full PPR. AJ Brown and in full PPR, probably AJ Brown and Godwin. As much as I've been hating on Godwin, you're getting the targets, you're getting the catches. So yeah, JMO in full PPR is not great. He doesn't ever have more than 4 catches. Alex says Irving out. Start DeMarcado, Hendo, or Rico. It's Rico. Rico. It's Rico. Rico is a top 20 play for sure this week. Maybe higher, man. Top 20 play with upside. All right, I got a little bit of beer left here. You guys want me to stay on? What should I do? Because my guest is not coming on. I had a whole thing planned with my guest. He did not show up. So I have a couple guests coming on tomorrow night for the gambling show. That'll be a long one, starting at midnight Central Time. I also might get my ass up at 7:30 Central Time in the morning and do a start sit for everyone if anyone's up, because that game starts at 8:30 Central. I might do that. And then, as always, long recap show with stories Sunday night, about 10:45 Central Time. Do a preview show of Monday Night Football on Monday at 5 p.m. and a recap show of Monday Night Football and everything that happened on Sunday, again, Monday night. So you're getting a lot of content. I will stick on here for a little bit longer if you guys would like. Again, if you want to get on this community, man, the chat's awesome. The Discord's awesome. I linked the Patreon in the description. A lot of good perks in there. Free merchandise. Playing fantasy leagues with us. I'm giving away entries into the fantasy league, so you might get your money back anyway. All that stuff. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate you, bro. Alan, well, you know what? I've been doing this show 4 years. Not the live shows. It was always just normal YouTube videos, and that does not get exposure. And I'm not working for a little bit, so I'm going to make this work so I don't have to go back to work. Now, it's going to take a lot, and I'm going to give it a whole year, honestly, because I have money. I'm going to give it a whole year. I'd like to pay the bills with this, so I know the short-term gains won't be there. I think they could be, and I think that, and you've seen some of the guests I have on the show. The guests are elite, so the content's elite. The quantity and quality is good. The entertainment's good. I got a lot of good shit. NBA, a lot of pop culture shit. Good stuff coming up in the offseason. This is going to be a year-round thing. I don't know if I'll do every single day in the offseason, but probably 5 days a week, dude. I got a open bar segment where I just talk about fucking whatever, bro. I'm pretty well-versed in a lot of stuff, and I like to drink. So what we got here? I don't know what's the risk, but Dak, a legit quarterback one going forward. Yeah, the defense in Dallas is just trash. So, and he's got good weapons. He's doing this without CeeDee Lamb right now. Oh, Alex, this is tough, man. I know Dak seems to be the play, but the 4 for a passing touchdown makes it tough. Dak's safer. Fields has more upside, man. Fields, you saw last week, man. Like, he should have scored more points. That passing touchdown, the first one to Garrett Wilson, the offensive pass interference, was garbage. Now, maybe the rest of the game wouldn't have played out like it did, but he still put up 30 points. So I think Dak's probably the play, but if you're feeling frisky and you want some upside, it's Fields. That's a tough one, though. All right, gentlemen. I might have to get another beer, but also have a long day tomorrow. I'm going out and then doing the show at midnight, and then that whole crazy 15 hours of football on Sunday. If someone wants to be a gentleman and a scholar and donate a little bit, a super chat, some question you have, I will grab another beer. I have to take a pee. I'll grab another beer and stick on for another 20 minutes at least. If not, I'll stick on for another 5 minutes, and then I will see you guys tomorrow. But any last questions in general, I will answer. If you want to be a real G and help support me and get me another beer, I'll get drunk. I'll do this all fucking night. But I think I've been live for like 16 hours already this week. Maybe more, honestly. Mostly when you super chat and donate, it's literally just to buy me fucking beers. That's funny. Yeah, so any last questions you have, though, I will answer. I gotta finish this beer anyway. I'm gonna play a quick clip while you guys mull it over for your questions. What do I have? I got something good here. This is a good one.
Hey, guys, the management needs everybody to get out because they caught a guy jerking off in here, and they're going to send in a crew to wipe down the loads. Go ahead.
I will say, man, Kyron definitely bought himself that role, though. You know, and I'm a big Blake Corum guy. I have a lot of Blake Corum, mostly as a handcuff, but not worried about Kyron's. His snap share is going to go right back to what it was last year. It appears 80%. And it's good for my Blake Corum shares, though, because if they're going to keep on running him out there, he's more likely to get hurt. Thanks, Griffin. With Roman Abai, do I start Pittman or it's AJ Brown? You're starting AJ Brown, bro. You're still starting him. Tough matchup. I don't care. I'm starting my studs. Thoughts on trading Rodgers and Wandale for Fields without a quarterback and a 14-man, literally no one on waivers? Yeah, I would do that, man. I would do that. The problem is there's a chance Fields doesn't keep the job all year. I still have faith he will. I don't know why they would go to Tyrod Taylor. He's a 35-year-old backup quarterback that has no future in the league. And maybe Justin Fields doesn't either, but he's 27, 26 years old, whatever. So I would do that because Wandale, he's fine. But, like, you're upgrading at quarterback. If it's a 4 for a passing touchdown league, I definitely want Fields over Rodgers. Diggs, Shakir, or Coleman in full PPR? Shakir. Coleman has a tough matchup. He's going to have a lot of Christian Gonzalez on him. I want Shakir. Diggs is close, but give me Shakir over Diggs. Jordan Mason's outlook's great, man. It's great. He's a starting running back even when Aaron Jones comes back. He'll lose some work, but that will also tie into the offense being more healthy, the O-line gelling, and he'll have big-ass games. It's Waddle for me, Jay. Give me Waddle. Jackson Dart, now my quarterback 1. I'm 1-3, so I lost so much to injury. Is Dart just me packing in, or there's upside? The problem is there was going to be a lot of upside if Malik Neighbors didn't get hurt. Now without Neighbors, I think you're going to get more rushing upside from Jackson Dart. He'll just run. He'll have 50 yards rushing a game apparently, so he's fine. I mean, the upside there of the passing upside, the ultimate upside is probably not what it could have been, but he's going to have a nice floor with his rushing, so you're not packing it in. I mean, I like that over starting a Tua Tagovailoa or some shit. Yeah, Jay. That's the gambling matters. We care about the gambling. May or Dimes matchup pretty even. It's Drake May. Drake May for sure. I know Dimes has the Vegas Raiders. Okay, Drake May is going to be running all over the field and making plays. He's going to have to against the Bills. And we saw last week, Spencer Rattler, yes, his fantasy line wasn't great, but they were moving the ball, right? They were moving the ball. The Saints were moving the ball against the Bills. The Saints suck. Drake May's good. Give me Drake May. Thank you, Evan. Appreciate you. There's a chance Warren Fitz is tight end 1 by the end of the year. Yeah, I still like Tucker Kraft more personally, but it's close. And George Kittle won't ever get there for total points because of the injury. And then Trey McBride will probably still finish ahead of him. But Warren and Kraft are both top 5, top 6 options. Oh, okay. I like that then. And what was the other one you were saying, Griffin? So you got to start. You're starting Pittman. That's fine. You got Rashee Rice. Good move. Mason or Rico. Mason, tough matchup. I have the same exact conundrum, Jay, and it's like, yes, tough matchup for Mason, but how many points can the Browns put up with a rookie quarterback against the Vikings' awesome defense? So I feel like it's going to be just a fucking like a slugfest, and Mason's going to get a lot of work. Now, Rico's probably going to be more efficient with his touches, but I think if it's full PPR, which my decision's full PPR, and I'm going Mason as of now, but I don't feel great about it. So, man, and I guess the thing is, I think they trust the backup in Minnesota because he's a decent pass catcher more than the Carolina trusts Trevor Etienne. So this is a Rico, like, cum fest. He's just going to be coming all over the field. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this one? This is tough. Evan with a $2 donation. Thank you, buddy. He didn't even ask a question. What a nice guy, man. You could have asked me anything. Ask me anything. How big's my dick? Does my wife have huge tits? Can you show us a picture of your wife? Can do that. There it is. That's a picture of her. She's a little younger there. She still looks good, though. She watches these sometimes, so I can't say anything stupid. Daniel Jones or Drake May this week? Drake May. Drake May. Drake May. Drake May. Drake May. Always Drake May. All right. Anything else? I'm going to pack it on up, gentlemen. Appreciate the subs and the donations from a few of you. Really appreciate it. Evan, thank you for that one. Scatterbo might be my favorite player in the league right now. Just a dog. He's a psycho, man. He's like a Family Guy cutaway of like CTE. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love the usage. I love the receiving chops. The fans love him. The teammates love him. He is a dude, man. All right, boys. I'm out of here. I'm going to play you a clip. I'll talk you out. And then again, tomorrow, midnight Central Time, the gambling show. Jay has a comment. I'll get to this. And then, okay, start 2. Allen, Sutton, and Buka, JSN. Then Allen, Sutton, and Buka, JSN. Then are we flexing Rico, one of those wide receivers, or Rashad White? So it's Ibuka. I think Ibuka is the play. No, shit, it's JSN. I'd rank it JSN, Ibuka, Sutton, Allen in the reverse order of what you have it in. And we're flexing Rico. I want Rico over Rashad White. I want the value, man. Rashad White, I still think, like I said, Sean Tucker's going to get a lot of work there. I know Trevor Etienne's not getting any work. Now that they could get blown out by 30 like they have, and that's going to be a bad play. But I'm going to bank on this game being closer than that, and it's Rico. Thank you, Griffin, man. Appreciate you, bro. Play my ending clip here that I like. It's a Workaholics clip. I'm a big Workaholics guy.
You asked to see me. I made your Cajun chicken niblets.
No. You made my year. You have a gift. And a super dope hat. This is cool. All right, boys. Let's go!
Last question. Michael Carter or Darren Waller? I'm going Michael Carter. Don't feel great about it. I like Darren Waller's outlook rest of season, but again, Darren Waller, great stat line last week. Darren Waller ran 10 routes last week, had 2 touchdowns, 3 catches. It's going to grow with Tyreek Hill being out and him playing himself into game shape, but he's still playing himself into game shape. Could be a bad call, but I think Michael Carter's going to have 40 to 50% of the snap share there, plus matchup against the Titans. Give me Michael Carter. If it's a full PPR, maybe Darren Waller. If it's half or standard, it's Michael Carter. All right, gentlemen. I know some of you guys just joined. I'm sorry. This has almost been 2 hours, which is actually short for me, but my guest didn't join me tonight, so I am just going to call a little early. I will be back tomorrow at midnight for the gambling show. It's not just gambling. It's fantasy, all this kind of stuff, the chat, all good stuff, couple good guests. Love you guys. Remember, stay positive. Love your life. Respect each other. Life is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Peace, boys. I'll see you tomorrow or whenever I see you.